Hi, welcome back to the Fetch Quest podcast, where I am joined by my friends and fellow co-host Logan,
What's up, guys?
Jay,
What's up?
and Connor.
Hey,
So, the something you might have noticed today with our podcast is that we have a new host today, Connor. He's secretly been a part of this the entire time. It's just that unfortunately, scheduled events are had just being at different schools and just having a toughly knit schedule is just kind of hard for a recording podcast. But we're happy to have him today. But Connor, like seriously, since this is your first recording for a podcast, tell me some stuff, man. How have you been?
I've been doing pretty good. Although I've been getting pretty angry at Hi-Fi Rush lately.
Mm-hmm.
The higher level difficulties on that game are really hard.
Man, I've been having that same issue with Elden Ring against Melania. She is so hard.
Yeah, the final boss trying to get that S rank has just been wanting me to make me break my controller.
Yeah, same. I nearly snapped my Xbox controller in half, dude.
Oh, dang, y'all really want to break your controllers over some hard difficulty. Which leads into our topic for today, controllers.
You could have seen that coming.
All right, but yeah, that's going to be the today's episode. Today is controllers. Going over the quality, some iconic controllers, how they feel, some weird controllers, and some third-party controllers. So, yeah, how do we feel about video game controllers, the things that let us play the games?
I feel like they've been improving a lot over the years. I mean, there have been some step backs here and there, but I feel like they just get better and better. Other than like maybe the joysticks.
Especially looking like the mainline controllers like Xbox and PlayStation. I think they've been improved a lot since the beginning days. At least in my opinion. I think they're a lot better than what they were.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I just really wish we could have controllers that don't drift every 5,000 times. We try to get one.
Talk about
Yeah,
Joy-Cons, am I
definitely.
right?
Talking about those Joy-Cons.
Relatable Joy-Con moment.
The drifty Joy-Cons.
God, Joy-Cons are
Tokyo
like
Drift? No, Tokyo Joy-Con.
I'll be
Ah, that's good.
playing Mario Kart and I'll be drifting in more ways than one.
Definitely.
oh my god. But it's like, yeah, Joy-Cons are something else. They're such like a good idea and a great such a good concept. And then they intentionally
execution.
make them faulty so you have to replace them. For those
Yeah. And
who don't
it's
know,
not even the Joy-Cons.
for those who don't know, how controllers work is that when you move the joystick, there's the part of the joystick that you're moving touches a piece of metal, which will tell the controller, hey, this is the input that I'm doing. Well, the metal that they use in Joy-Cons to detect that input is graphite, from your pencil. So when you do that over and over again, then the graphite's gonna get smeared everywhere. Meaning, yeah, you can guess from there.
That's just intentionally a bad design. That's intentionally bad.
No,
That or
it's
just,
intentionally
mean,
bad.
that or just cheaping out on parts.
Part
Yeah.
of me wants to say, hey, yo, get that bag, but at the same time, I'm the one having to give them the bag, so...
Yeah. I mean, it isn't just Joy-Cons. Like, I know PS5 controllers have been having that problem a lot lately.
Really?
I
And
think
even Xbox controllers. My little brother has a new controller all the time.
the
Xbox,
Pro
PlayStation.
controllers as well for Nintendo. I have a few Pro controllers, and some of them drift a bit.
Yeah, the Pro controller isn't nearly as bad because I think they're able to use better joysticks. Because with the Joy-Cons, with
Yeah.
how small it is, there were some
Like,
compromises that had to be made. But yeah, they still eventually drift.
actually, one of the weirdest, kind of, I don't know, I had a Pro controller, and one of the weirdest things that ever happened to a controller happened to my Pro controller, and I had to get a new one. But so, have you guys ever took a controller apart before, like
Few-
Xbox controller or stuff
few
like that?
times.
Yeah, I've had to do that for
Yeah.
my GameCube controller before. Yeah.
So you know that little part where your joystick snaps on, and you go there to mess with when you have stick drift and whatever else.
Cap.
Yeah, the cap.
Well, you
basically.
take the cap off and then you get to the main unit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
no.
it was weird because like the little stick where you put your joystick on or whatever you want to call it, your cover. I don't know what you want to call it, but it was like snapped off inside of my joystick. So it was one of the weirdest things ever. It was actually snapped. It's
Dude,
never happened before.
go to some yard sales or buy some third-party controllers, or not third-party, just controllers from previous owners, and you'll see that a lot. Since
Yeah,
like I
I'll have to send a
remember when
picture
I was
later,
looking
but
for
it
a
was.
wave, I was looking for a
Yeah.
wave bird a while ago, and I didn't really need a super high quality one because I was gonna add some new buttons and stuff in anyway. So
Yeah.
when I was looking at the shop I went to, they had like two of them that were just like labeled parts and repair. One of them,
Yeah.
it was just dirty. It literally just needed to be cleaned and maybe a battery cover. The other one though, the stick felt like really weird. Like you could shake it and it would spin around. So I bought the former and they gave me the latter for free because they didn't really have a use for it. And when I opened up the second one out of curiosity, the stick was like literally snapped in half.
Jeez,
So
really?
it was like the Pro controller.
Yeah, it's like how are people that rough on their controllers?
That's
I think
crazy.
that was me and user error because I
Gamer
realized it was
rage.
broken after I like packed it around. I was taking it to my buddy's house and I brought it out there and it was broken. I was like, what?
Yeah, because like for a lot of controllers, I will agree. Some of them, even if you are careful with them, they're just gonna get drift anyway because they weren't designed very
Yeah.
well. But a lot of times, like if you have them filthy Cheeto fingers, Mountain
Oh, that
Dew covered fingers before you touch that controller, I honestly don't feel as much sympathy for you if your controller starts drifting.
This is why I
Yeah.
never let my brothers play any of my systems.
Yeah, they're
Cheeto.
not old enough to like understand. You got to take good care of those things.
Exactly. Like, I mean, they're 7. They're starting to get an idea of, like, value of things and whatnot, but I'm still like, no.
No, little one, you cannot borrow my Pokemon card. It cost $100.
Yeah, I'm definitely not doing that. Like, oh my
You're
god.
not trading my $100 card. I swear.
No, you're
Me-
not
me-
getting my $100 Mewtwo card. No.
Me trying to explain to my child that he can not take the $300 Rayquaza out of its case.
Ugh, jeez.
No,
My
Logan.
God.
All right.
You cannot show it to your friends at school. It's too valuable.
Oh wait, I
Yeah.
don't think we've explained this yet,
Filthy
but
hands away from it.
if you ever hear any of us refer to Logan as Brewer, it's because we have 2 Logans in our friend group, and we just so happen to meet Brewer here second, so we just refer to as Brewer.
I mean, even worse, when me and Logan did meet each other, it was on a baseball team with 5 other Logans. You can imagine how that went, especially because with last names too. Some of us had like last names that were either same or just like same letter, so you couldn't even be like Logan S because there's 2 Logan S's.
Or just straight up call you your last name. I know that happens a lot around my schools. They just call you by your last name.
Yeah, I mean, we also wrestled on the same team together too, so he's
Oh,
older than
man.
me, so I'm used to just getting called Brewer. Which I mean, I don't mind. I think it's a nice name.
It really is.
Yeah. Real quick, just to get back on topic. What's everyone's like favorite type of controller? You know, like GameCube, Pro controller, Wii controller, stuff like that.
I'm such a fucking PlayStation, like, I will suck off PlayStation, but the PS5 controller is probably my favorite controller that's ever been released. I'm not even gonna lie.
I do really like that controller.
It's so fucking good. I can't, like, it's so responsive, and not just that, but, like, the unique features it has with just, like, haptic feedback, and, I feel like, so, video games to me are, like, immersion, and that controller has made me felt more immersed to any video game that I've played off, like, using the features with that controller than any other controller I've ever used. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
What about y'all, though?
I'll always have a bit of a nostalgic feel for the Wii remote, mainly because the Wii's my favorite system.
That's
I'll
fair.
always have a bit of I'll always have a good old nostalgic pull towards the Wii remote.
It's
Yeah.
a good, it's a good
I'm not.
remote.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna say it's like the best. The motion controls could be pretty, bad sometimes. But
Skyward Sword.
all in all, for
Donkey
yeah,
Kong.
exactly, exactly. But all in all, I think it was a pretty good controller, especially for it being completely based around motion controls. Sometimes it had its struggles though, but with games like Mario Galaxy, like it was super responsive for stuff like that.
Man,
That's
I
fair.
love me some Mario Galaxy.
Still haven't played Galaxy.
Yeah,
I like.
you are.
You
I know.
have the
I know.
collection.
I know. You want to kill me now. I know.
You get at me for like not playing
Oh.
Elden Ring and all that stuff, and you haven't played Mario Galaxy.
The funny part is that like I own it
Yeah.
through like the 3D All Stars thing, and I just haven't played it yet.
So this is going to be
Slowly, because a lot of games I haven't played yet.
Yeah, you haven't played
this
that.
is going to.
You haven't played Torna yet.
Oh shush. I don't like
Okay,
Xenoblade
real
Chronicles.
quick.
I do not like Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Real
But you
quick,
finished
real
it.
quick.
I hate
You
that I
got the
did.
ending.
Guy, this is going to be the Xenoblade 3 for you, because I'm not going to give up until you play that game. Just like how you wouldn't leave me alone until I finish Xenoblade 3.
That's fair.
Or how you still won't shut up about Berserk for me, even though I'm reading it.
Okay, Brewer, at least you're enjoying it, okay?
You can
Also
enjoy
for
Xenoblade
context.
too.
We're getting really
No,
off
I
topic.
can't.
Yes,
That is
you
literally
can.
impossible.
There are many people who would argue otherwise.
Yeah.
And they're simps. Simp weebs.
No, they aren't. Well, I mean, one of them is, but most of them aren't.
No, all of them.
No, they aren't. I'm not.
You are.
Here, I'll bring a second. For quick context, Guy, I have a problem with finishing video games, especially ones of the Xenoblade franchise, and so Brewer and Guy would not leave me alone when it came to trying to finish that game. And
In our
so
defense.
now,
Like, you
And
had the
yes,
game
in
for
your
like
defense,
9
yes.
months.
And you
Yeah,
were literally at the end.
yes, in your defense, that is true. But also,
Oh no, guy! Do you want to talk about what we did with It Takes Two?
Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay, this is worse.
Wait.
This is worse than that. Yeah, this is actually worse than that. Jay, do you
Good,
want
like,
to
share-
explain,
share a
Jay, or do you want
controller.
me to explain?
You can go ahead.
Oh, God. So, It Takes Two is a video game that's published by EA, and that is probably my second favorite 3D platformer ever. The concept of it is it requires 2 people to play. Like, you have to have 2 people to play. There's no single player. You have to have 2 people. But it's about this married couple who's going through a divorce. They get turned into dolls through magic, and to turn back into humans, they have to like reinvigorate their love and like figure out why exactly they fell in love in the first place. Me and Jay did a full playthrough of it, and we both loved every second of it. I don't think there was a single dip in quality with the game, and the unfortunate side of the story is that me and Jay did like an entire playthrough, but we accidentally, not kind of accidentally, we put off the game for more than a year.
Oh no!
And we put it off for more than a year. Then one day we decided, hey, look, we were really close to finishing this game. We didn't realize how close we were, but we were pretty close to finishing the game. And so we were like, okay, maybe an extra like 2 hours of gameplay, that shouldn't be bad. We booted it up, and I don't think we even played for about 25 minutes, and we beat the game. We were that close to the ending.
Jeez. I thought Connor was bad.
More than a year.
Yeah, Connor's took like at least a couple hours.
It did not take me a couple hours. That took me like 10 hours to beat.
Yeah, just a couple.
Right?
Just a couple.
Connor,
Connor,
if it takes you 10 hours to get through Origin and beat the final boss of Xenoblade 3, that is a skill issue. I'm sorry.
It wasn't a skill issue. I beat them all first try.
Then how did it take you 10 hours?
I don't know, but I started playing at 6 one day. I played till 12, and then I beat it at like 12 the next morning after I went to bed. I don't know what took me so long, but I beat all the bosses first try.
Did you like pause the game during the cutscenes to go take 1 hour dumps in between?
Oh my god.
No, I don't.
Jesus Christ.
I'm being serious. It took me like 10 hours to get through that, and I beat them all first try. I don't know why.
That's crazy.
All right. Well, okay, we
Yeah.
got a little too strayed, but let's go back to what we were talking about with controllers.
Yeah, let's. But
Okay.
And here's one I think we could do because we were talking about Xenoblade, limited edition controllers because Smash
Oh,
or not Smash, the Switch Pro controller had a limited edition Xenoblade 2 controller along with some other variations.
What I'd like to mention is Monster Hunter Rise. That got a limited edition Pro controller.
oh
They
yeah, you
actually
got
got
the Pro controller for
they
that.
got
Yeah.
two of them, the
I don't
Magnum
have
and
it, but
Magnum.
I wanted to get it because it's really cool. I don't have it.
What? I thought you got it.
My plan was to get it, but I couldn't find one, so I just
Ah,
settled for a normal controller.
I feel bad, I know I walked into GameStop multiple times and I've seen both of them,
why don't you just like
Shut
give it
up.
to Jay? Just saying.
but I didn't buy them. I have
Bro.
the Smash controller, but the Magnum Hollow controller and the Malzeno controller that was released for Sunbreak, I do not have either of them,
Jeez.
oh wow.
Yeah,
but I
the only
do have
reason I got
the
a Pro controller
Smash.
to begin with was because of Monster Hunter Rise. Because I did not want to play that with Joy Cons. That was not happening.
You know what? That's a good decision. But here's the thing: for most games, you don't want to use Joy Cons anyway.
Yeah, Joy-Cons kind of suck.
That's 100% true.
Well, look, I will give them some credit
Yeah.
because when I first got my Switch and I booted up Breath of the Wild, playing with the Joy Cons actually was pretty comfy, but Pro Controller is still always like 5 times better. Joy Cons aren't bad, but they're not the Pro Controller.
Yeah, like I'll play my Animal Crossing on my Joy-Cons, but if I'm playing like Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I'm gonna be using my Pro controller.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that's just enough about that though. I think we got going. We got way sidetracked. Back to what
I
our
mean, we're
favorite
still talking
controllers
about
are.
controllers.
Yeah, but like
So,
favorite controllers. We talked about me and Connors. Now we gotta talk about Jays and Brewers.
Jay, you go
Okay.
first. I'm still thinking.
Me personally, I unfortunately haven't been able to really use a PlayStation 5 controller or an Xbox Series X controller. But going off what I've played with, I would have to say, I don't know. I know pro controllers have their downsides, but I'd say that's probably like the one of the best things I played with because it opened up a lot more. Like you said, it's a lot more comfortable to play a Switch with a pro controller and all that.
I mean, it's just a really nice controller. If it had like the same types of triggers, I think it's like maybe the PS5 and or
Yeah.
like the Xbox controllers, I think I would put it on the same level as those.
That's fair.
I'm not gonna say Xbox because I've had many issues with Xbox controllers and all that. And the only issue I ever had with a pro controller was definitely my fault. I think it
Yeah.
was an accident.
What'd you do?
I think it was because I had it packed up and I was taking it to my buddy's house, and when I got there, it was just broke. It wasn't broke when I packed it up, so I think it was just something that happened during transportation.
Ah, dang.
Yeah, I usually
Yeah.
buy like cases for any of my controllers if I'm
I
traveling.
have a case for my Switch. I just don't have a case for my controller.
Well, especially when they're in that bag and the joysticks are rubbing up against something, like going back
Yeah.
and forth, I can really wear them down. Or if a lot of pressure is being put on them.
So, yeah, I'm gonna go with the pro controller as my choice, honestly, just because it just opened up a lot more comfortable gameplay for me.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
I think for me, I'm gonna go a little old school and go with the Super Nintendo controller
Really?
because yeah, it
He's
opened up an
old.
avenue for a lot of. I am 19. Thank
Yeah,
you
yeah,
very
yeah,
much.
dude. He's just we're all
Old.
like pretty much the same
Old.
age.
I am a fair maiden.
Yo, Maiden's Elden Ring? Something I don't get? What?
Quiet Elden simp.
You know,
But back to what I was
super
saying,
full
I think the
sacrificing.
controller
They
was
said I get maiden.
revolutionary for what it lets you do with games, and overall, it still holds up. It's a really comfy controller. The D-pad's really good, which isn't something I can say for like the Pro controller and D-pad on Switch.
Yeah, it's fine.
And I still think its D-pad is a lot better than the modern variants we get on like Xbox and PS5.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
You
Yeah,
said
it feels a lot comfier.
the Super Nintendo controller?
Yeah, the forward button layout that it has is what a lot of controllers have been based off of now. And then the shoulder buttons on it, that was another really good concept for the time too.
That's sick.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I
Honestly,
know.
like when you first said that, like I wasn't thinking of it like at the time. Like really this, and then like you explained it. I was like, yeah, yes, he's got a point.
Yeah,
He's
well, like
cooking. He's
take
cooking.
away maybe like the thumbsticks off of any modern controller, and take off like the second set of shoulder buttons, and you have a Super Nintendo controller.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Because like
I'm really surprised no one went with a GameCube controller.
I
I am kind
really
of
like the GameCube.
surprised.
That's in my like top five. I'd say that's in my
Yeah, no,
top
that
five.
that is another favorite of
Yeah,
mine. I mean, obviously, players, they really still love that controller, and for good reason. It's well designed. It looks weird. It does look weird at first, but once you use it the way it's intended, it's
You never
great.
go back. Yeah, you don't go back after that. Like when I switched, like because I play Smash competitively, and like I've heard that like these controllers were like, oh hey, they're really good for competitive. You should try it once in a while. And I'm like, I'll buy one. It's $20 for this wired one. This shouldn't be. If I don't like it, it's fine. It's fine. And then like I picked it up and it felt weird. I was like, oh god, this is ugh. And then like I played it some more, and then like this it's the most comfortable I've ever played while Smash. It gives me like so much freedom of movement and whatnot. Seriously though, GameCube controller is so good. It's so good.
It's so good for like I played a lot of the Mario games with it because the concept that it has is just you have your main selectable button like A, and then everything else circles around that. That one concept really pushes the controller forward because like in Mario you jump with A, so you got that big juicy nice button to use every time you're timing your jumps.
Oh, for sure, for
Every
sure.
time every time you're using your regular tilt or attacks and smash, you use that, and then you slide your finger over and then boom, X and Y is there so you can jump.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I would knock on it that some like third-party controllers have revised is like the right thumbstick should be bigger. That and the D-pad kind of sucked on that. Other than that, though, I don't really have much I can knock on it.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of games at the time didn't exactly like use the gamepad, not gamepad, the D-pad.
Yeah, well, it's still nice to have a D-pad though, because even if it isn't used as your main movement option, I think for like navigating menus and stuff in shops or just other little things, I still want to have a
yeah.
decent D-pad for that.
I think I personally think it's better not to use D-pad for movement, at least in modern games, because
Depends.
it's just not that good for movement. I do agree though, being able using it for like navigating like menus and stuff like that. Because whenever I was playing Xenoblade 3, I'd always use the D-pad to navigate the menus and stuff like that, since there's a bunch of them, and I'd always use the D-pad to
Yep.
navigate those.
Plus,
But
if you're trying to like fastly go through a menu, like you have a lot of items to scroll through, which that is
yeah,
the case in Xenoblade 3. You can quickly tap the D-pad down, whereas with the thumbstick you can either hold it down, which may not be as fast, or just like try to go down and like bring it back to center a bunch of times.
yeah, and with some menus, it's like if you hold the stick down instead of going down like one menu, you like scroll down to the very bottom. It's just annoying.
Yeah, yeah.
That's entirely fair. If you guys haven't caught up with the trend here, play Xenoblade Chronicles 3. It's pretty good.
Play all the
Yeah,
Xenoblades; they're amazing.
Shut up, Brewer.
if enough
Okay, you're
people
you're
watch
gonna not
this,
include Xenoblade 1 then, because I said all.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you told me to shut up after I said all of them, so that
Play
your
hey,
1X and
intention
3.
then
Play 1X and
is
3.
saying you haven't even played X.
I know
You
it's
don't even
good
own
though. I know it's
you don't
good.
own a copy of it.
I've heard it's
if
good.
You don't even have a
if
Wii
enough,
U to play it on, which
Oh
I
my
don't
god.
blame you.
yeah,
The Wii U kind of
Dude, it got thrown
I
out,
think the
remember?
Wii,
Oh, that's
yeah,
a skill issue. That's a skill
Oh my
issue.
god. Alright, but yeah, back to controllers though. Yeah, that's
I think since Brewer brought up the Wii U, can we talk about how the Wii U, like quote unquote controller, was just not good at all.
I have
Like the
some nostalgia
gamepad.
for that thing, but I get that.
It,
Wait,
it,
we're
it
talking about
just
the gamepad, right?
yeah, the gamepad. That's why I said
I'm
quote
actually gonna
unquote
fight for that
controller.
thing.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna fight for that thing too. I actually like it a lot. I know
I
that's
never
weird.
played one.
Like, I don't think it should be used for like every single game because like forcing two screens, that's like a problem the DS ran into a lot too. A lot of games
Yeah,
would force touchpad mechanics, and then it just like wouldn't flow as nicely. But playing with that and like maybe having the map on display down there as an extra thing, or displaying more information so the UI isn't as cluttered. Having two screens is pretty nice.
Yeah, like God, Breath of the Wild on the Wii actually did that. They used the for the second screen they used the pad for the map, which I think is really
Actually,
cool because like you get an
no,
idea
I
of
think
like where you're
it
at
didn't.
always.
I don't think it actually did that. I could be
Really?
wrong. Yeah, let me look that up real
Yeah, we
quick.
should
I
probably look
know
that up.
one example of
I
like
always
gamepad
I
usage
always
that would have been
forget
nice, like
that.
Minecraft, when it did eventually come to Nintendo consoles, because it wasn't on Nintendo consoles for the longest time. When it was brought to Wii U, a lot of people were expecting, hey, put your inventory on this bottom screen and you can edit it from there. Sort of like with like Terraria on the 3DS, that's something you could do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But nah, you just couldn't.
That's fair.
Hmm.
Let me look that up real quick. I could be wrong, but just curious.
Yeah, I could be wrong too. There's no time. Again, I've played Breath of the Wild on my Switch, not the Wii U.
Well, I mean, not a lot of people have Switches. Not a lot of people have Wii U's.
Exactly.
And I'm saying that as someone with a Wii U.
You know what's funny? I was actually wanting to play Breath of the Wild. Like while you're looking this up, I was wanting to play Breath of the Wild for the longest time when it came out, and I didn't even realize it was on Wii U because of the marketing.
You
Okay,
know,
I
the
found
first
this.
experience on you actually. I didn't know it was.
I didn't know
Okay,
it was
what I
either.
found,
Yeah,
that this is on Reddit, so take it with a grain of salt. But I'll look at some other sources when I have a chance to.
Reddit.
Apparently, I know, filthy Redditors. But apparently, when it was being made, it had those features in there, but they removed them so the Switch wouldn't like have this features lacking from the Wii U version.
Oh, what? That's dumb.
Yeah, Polygon
yeah,
says that yeah, it dropped it. So
That's
if
crazy,
if
actually.
not Reddit, Polygon's probably a pretty good source.
yeah.
Or Hitomaro Fubayashi told IGN that developers aim to provide the same gameplay experience across both on Switch and Wii U, noting that when development began, well before the Switch was announced, touchscreen features were present.
That's
And doing
crazy.
our testing without the touch features, he said, we noticed looking back and forth between the gamepad and the screen actually took a little something away from this type of Zelda game. So there's a lot more on that, but yeah, it does kind of suck.
The so technically Breath of the Wild could have been better. Holy crap.
Kind of reminds me of like Smash 4 not having like ice climbers because the 3DS couldn't run the ice
Yeah,
climbers on there.
exactly. And those are like staple characters too.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck knows what Ice Climbers is if it wasn't for Smash? Like, seriously.
Yeah.
People that are into weird retro
Man,
shit like me.
yeah.
Per,
But
last time, like, your opinion doesn't matter. I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm kidding.
Wyatt, I'm gonna shove my NES, my dad's NES down your throat.
Oh yeah, it is your dad's. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But I was
Hey,
back to that whole ice climbers thing. When ever I first, because before I played Smash, I mainly played Mario and Zelda and stuff like that. But whenever I played Smash, that actually got me a lot more interested in the sort of extra, like the other franchises and stuff like that. So um, I started doing research, and that's how I found out about Ice Climbers, since literally no one above the age of like um, 20 would probably know about them besides Brewer.
Yeah. Well, a lot of franchises people get introduced to them because of Smash. Like, I think Persona 5, a lot big reason as many people wanted it on Switch as they do is because of Smash. If it wasn't announced in the Game Awards like it was and Joker wasn't in Smash, I don't think nearly as many people would have cared to have it on Switch.
that's fair.
I didn't even know about Persona 5 till he came to Smash.
Yeah, I legit saw that
Exactly.
trailer and I was like, hey,
Who's Joker?
I think I've seen him before. Now, like, now
It's
compared to me now, I'm a devolved human being who has Persona 5 Royal as his favorite game of all time. So yeah,
I
it's
mean,
the
yeah,
guy
most
from
of us are
Batman.
guilty of that because I played the original Persona 5, and I've played Persona 5 Royal, and then I've also played Persona 4.
Lamau.
I still need to play Persona 4
And
while it's on
those
Game
are some games
Pass.
I need to set aside. Those are some games I need to set aside some time to actually play through because I haven't.
Yeah, they're long games, so it is understandable.
All
Like
right,
time on those.
yeah, we need to get back on topic with controllers. We keep getting sidetracked.
All right, how
So
about we do a little something wacky then?
wacky.
You guys want to know a fun fact about Logan or Brewer? You want some
Sure.
Brewer? You want
Yeah,
some
let's get some
Brewer
Brewer
lore?
lore in here. Yeah, actually, this
I want
sounds
Yeah.
Brewer
interesting.
lore.
I own 2 pairs of Donkey Kong bongos.
Wait, why
Oh
two?
crap! Yeah.
Well, the first one is actually some boxed Donkey Kong bongos.
Oh, is
Now they
that the
aren't like
collector's
they
edition?
aren't sealed or anything, but I do have the original box for Donkey Kong bongos. And the second one I've found at a flea market for like $9. So how could I pass up on that?
That's fair. That's fair.
I am aiming
Someone
one day to eventually have like 2 more
like,
pairs, so I could have 4-player Donkey Konga, because that is something you can actually do.
I want that
Wait,
in my life.
all right. I'm looking at what they look like now because I didn't know what they looked like. How the hell do those things work?
So as for specific games, they don't have like controls for everything, but like each Donkey Kong pad, you can see like a little line on them. So there's like technically 2 buttons inside each one. The mic counts it as a button, so anytime you clapped, like it would count as an input in the game. Donkey Konga is a rhythm game, and then there's
Ah,
also like a start button on it.
so just beating it as the rhythm goes. Okay.
Yeah, so like a left input came up, you would obviously hit the left bongo. Right input came up, you'd hit the right, and then if a like spiky input came up, you would clap. Well, either that or you could yell into the mic because it just picked up sound.
What?
That's
sorry.
crazy.
When you said
Sounds
yell into the
interesting, actually.
That
when you
is.
said yell into the mic, all I can think of is that one video of the guy playing, I think, the Mario Party minigame where he has to imitate the uh, voices of the Mario characters and just plays back, and it's the most like bass boosted shit on the planet.
Eh,
Yeah, well, like another thing I've seen too is people beating like Dark Souls with Donkey Kong bongos.
I
Now
was
it
just
is a,
about
like
to mention that.
yeah, it's like with multiple bongos with specific inputs recorded to each one, but someone
Okay.
has beaten Dark Souls with a couple Donkey Kong bongos.
did you see the girl who beat Elden Ring with a Dance Dance Revolution pad?
Oh my god, I saw that.
Yes,
That was
Yeah, I did
crazy.
see
I
that.
I love that. That was amazing.
That was crazy.
Yeah, all the props to her because couldn't be me.
The
Like
leg workout was insane.
she legit beat Melania with that thing, which is
And a lot of
nuts.
people can't even beat Melania normally.
I know.
Yeah, since
No,
we're still on the topic of like rhythm games and controllers too, how many of you boys played Guitar Heroes growing up?
just about to say that. Damn
Uh,
it.
I keep
Yeah.
stealing your topic,
my
Jay.
my friend, when I was younger, they had a Guitar Hero set up, and I remember I tried playing it once, and I got my ass completely handed to me.
Yeah, that happens. Skill issue.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like that though. It's just Guitar Hero has always been really fun. I love God the Wii version. You would put the Wiimote in
Yeah, no,
it with the nunchuck.
I still have mine, and it was like it's really fun.
I thought that was the
Okay.
Never
coolest thing.
played guitar, but I have played Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero is
This
so
It's
is
fun.
fun. It's so much
Well,
fun.
it's one
this
of those
is
examples too of like non-gamers like wanting to get into games because like even people that didn't really like video games, I would still see them play Guitar Hero like at like
Yeah.
parties and stuff. Even people who never really touch video games, if you bring up Guitar Hero, they'll want to try it out just because it seems like just mimic real life and it's something they can understand.
I
There's
understand the guitar.
their
Yes.
red note, their green note. I hit red button. I hit red note.
I
Well, you also have to hit the
understand.
little bar on the bottom too, but you get what I mean.
We don't talk about it. Don't worry. But yeah, it's just like stuff like that. It's just are there other unique controllers that we can really think about? Those are really good
Um,
examples.
Like gun.
I okay. This is not something I think anyone besides me will know, but for the Wii, they have these things called Wii Zappers, and
For Duck Hunt.
you um, well, what essentially you could put the Wii remote in the thing, and
Oh, I've had
then
that
you
one
could
too.
yeah, and you could use it for like using it
Nerf.
for like shooting games. I
Yeah,
remember my dad, uh, he bought a bunch of Wii games that but he could play with both me and my sister, and one of those games was this really crappy like hunting game where you would just go out into the
big buck
you
hunter.
essentially just go, yeah, I think that's what it was called, and you'd have to use the Wii Zapper, and you'd it's sort of like those arcade games where you that have like the gun controllers. There's a lot like that, but at your home.
Yeah, well, I mean, even nowadays, like attachment to controllers to like make them feel like something else, especially guns, is still really common. Like even Switch Joy-Cons, like some games will become bundled with like a little attachment to make it look like a gun.
Yeah, or
So
just
like
add
the
like
one
for
that,
the realism or anything. Yeah.
yeah, one of the really cool ones I remember, there was this Nerf shooting game on the Wii that I played, and you could put the Wiimote in it and then blast away. But another cool thing is take the Wiimote out, put another attachment in, and it actually functioned as a Nerf gun.
Oh,
Really?
really? That's crazy.
That's sick. Actually, holy shit.
Yeah, so you get off the game and then you could still shoot people.
Yo, fuck Resident Evil 4. I want that.
Oh, speaking of Resident Evil 4, you guys ever see the chainsaw controller?
Oh my god, yeah.
What? No
Then
way.
Yeah,
No way that's a thing. No way that's a thing.
I will
so
show you
they
right
have,
now.
Please.
Come look at my stream.
there's an IGN video
Holy
about it.
crap. I see it. It's amazing.
Yeah,
I
guys,
want
we'll put it
it.
on screen right now so you can see. It is it is a wacky controller, but it is amazing.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. That is incredible. It's like Pochita from Chainsaw. That cost
it
$700. What
is.
the heck?
Yeah, it's a really rare controller,
That is $700. I'm not paying
and
that.
I
Holy
mean
crap.
the demand's very high because who wouldn't want the chainsaw controller?
It's literally
Who
from
wouldn't want
It's from Leon Sexy Kennedy Man game. So like,
who
yeah.
wouldn't want to become Chainsaw Man?
Yo, my favorite. Okay, off topic, but my favorite scene in Chainsaw Man is when he goes, "It's Chainsaw Man in time," and then he goes all over the place.
I just want to imagine they gave the voice actor the mic, and there's like, all right, we want you to just imitate a chainsaw sound, and then he was like, I got you, chief.
That didn't sound like a chainsaw. It's just the voice actor just making a chainsaw noise
God
during
damn.
the
It's like
entire thing.
it's
That'd be
like
so funny.
I can't remember if it was Brawl or Melee, but when it's like whenever you select a character, they'd have like a voice line come from the Wii speaker that was like all like staticky and stuff.
Oh yeah, I remember like Captain Falcon's thing was like really weird.
All right, guys. There's a controller I don't think you guys would know about, but I do because I'm into that weird crap.
You're into a
Are
lot
any
of
of you
weird crap.
guys
Alright.
familiar with the Final Fantasy X-2 gun controller?
No.
What?
Come take a look at this.
Ain't no way that's hold up.
It's a real thing. Come,
FF10.
I'm streaming it right now. Come look at
FF
it.
Final
Yeah, I
Fantasy.
see it. I
Holy
see it.
crap, this is real.
Yeah,
Photo coming soon.
What?
I cannot make this thing up, even if I try to.
Wow, that thing like looks cool and stupid. Holy crap.
It's like
Yeah, but the best part is you wouldn't even like really point it at the screen. It just had like the controls on them.
What?
that's hilarious.
Yeah,
Cool ones like
and
these.
combined, they have all the functions of the DualShock 2 controller, so you could play other games with them.
That is
I'm s-
crazy.
Yeah, I'm assuming you guys know about the Dragon Quest Slime controller.
Oh yeah, I've
Yes.
seen that one.
Let's go, little Z. He taught me about that.
I love the Dragon Quest Slime controller.
It's so
Iconic.
goofy.
Um,
But
yeah, you first. You first.
no, I was saying it's just so goofy, but that's what makes it great.
Going back to like Final Fantasy 10 2. I okay. I legit. This is completely off topic. I've played Final Fantasy 10, and I own Final Fantasy 10 2, but I refuse to play it because I know it's not like really faithful to the game, like a 10 original.
I know a lot of people will have that opinion, or they
I'm
don't want
noticing a
to,
trend with Guy.
not
He
wanting to play
doesn't like.
sequels.
Yeah, he doesn't want to play games with the number two in them.
Okay,
Dude, he's
okay,
like,
besides, okay, no, I've played Xenoblade 2. I have played it.
take like Valve's fear of the number 3, replace it with Guy, and it's a fear of the number 2.
Exactly.
You guys literally only have like one example for that, because I've played through Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yet you always complain.
Oh, okay, tell me another game with
I'm,
2 in it that I don't like.
Devil May Cry.
Final Fantasy 10 2.
I said other game.
Dark Souls 2.
Yeah,
Besides
Yeah.
Dark Souls 2.
No way.
No, Dark Souls. No,
That's
Dark Souls
another
2 is like
game!
actually legit. Like that's a legit like that's fair. Like an actual, like you can't because guess what? It's not real.
Calling you out.
Guy has duophobia. Is the fear the number 2?
Oh my
Wait,
god.
is that an actual
Interesting.
fear? Is that an actual fear?
Yeah, I'm
Got
looking
that?
at it.
No.
No, I
I bet
remember,
that's
dude,
actually
after
real.
playing AI the Somnium Files, or I the Somnium Files, I was telling you should play the sequel, but you were being iffy on playing it just because I told you it wasn't as good as the first.
That's a
Oh my
legitimate
gosh, another
concern.
example.
What do you expect?
It still doesn't mean it's a
Here,
bad
here.
game.
Dude,
It's
Here,
still
okay.
good.
I really love the sequel, like the sequel. I really love the ending of the first one, and like you saying that like they use the same characters and
doesn't
try to do
ruin-
like a new thing out of it. I'm like, no, I want
It
in my
doesn't
head
ruin the
canon. I want
characters.
this to end right here.
No, for the
I
most
think we
part,
should
get back on
I get-
topic
we should-
again.
we should get back on topic.
Yeah,
we should-
well, since we were talking about a gun controller, how about older gun controllers like light guns?
NZAP. Oh, I was thinking of the NZAP.
Yo, the NZAP from Splatoon 3?
No,
Okay.
but also yes. Yeah, no,
One that I
light guns
remember-
are a lot of fun. I actually own 2
Oh.
of them, one for the Dreamcast and the original one for the NES.
That's crazy.
I remember one I owned. I forget what console it was. I want to say it was PlayStation 2, but I don't think it was. I don't even think they had one. I forget what it was, but there was like this buck hunt game that I played a lot. It was this actual like rifle that was a controller, and you just point at the TV and you shoot the bucks as they come across.
Probably same thing that Connor, or same franchise that Connor
Yeah.
played, because that one gets
Mm.
released on every console.
Yeah.
There's like I've seen like a lot of arcades have like those games, like buck hunt games with like a gun controller, and then you shoot them. I was so good at those games when I was like 12. I was so good.
I remember there's this Terminator one I'd always play. It was really good.
Yeah, the
I
motion
don't
controls
remember
on those
for-
were like a little janky, but they were so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now the light guns, they are kind of relics of the past because they only really worked on CRTs. But when you actually get to use one, because I know Guy, the first time he used one is when he was visiting me, and I let him use my controller for Duck Hunt on the NES. It's really freaking accurate
I cannot believe how accurate that thing was.
for how old it is.
Like it seriously is like one of the most accurate things I think. I think that thing is better than the Wiimote, which is crazy.
Yeah.
No way.
Well, interesting thing about the Wiimote with its pointer is, you know how it has those little sensor bars?
Yeah.
You could replace that sensor bar with like 2 candles.
What?
And because of the way the infrared worked with the Wii for like pointer controls, 2 cameras simulates the dots it has or the heat signals it puts out that sensor bar does,
Oh,
and you could do that. So if you can't find your sensor bar,
get some
and
points.
you need to get past the Wii title screen, because for a lot of games that you can play without the Wiimote, you still need to get past the title screen for selecting. You just grab 2 candles.
That's crazy.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I honestly thought the sensor bar like worked in an entirely different way. I didn't know it was infrared. That's
Yeah,
crazy
same
though.
same here.
Wait, does that mean you could put like two hot and warm bodies like right in front of you in like perfect position and then play Wii?
They gotta be really dang warm.
They'd have to be suffering from a fever.
I'm running hot.
All right, so what's the quickest way to get a fever?
Step 1, go lick the toilet.
Okay,
Step
epic.
Step 2, microwave your face.
Step
There's an
2,
episode of South Park where Randy microwaves his balls so he can get cancer and then get free weed.
that
This
sounds
is
like the
real.
most Randy thing I can think of.
That is a real episode of South Park.
That's funny as shit. I
All
actually
right.
didn't know.
So, real quick, what controller do you guys think has the best, like, just general, like, feel, like it's the best to hold?
Best to
Ooh,
That's the
hold.
whole.
That's a
that's a
tricky one.
that's a really good one. Okay. Again, I'm probably just like sucking off Sony right now, but like the PS5 controller feels so good to hold. Like
It
it's
is pretty comfy, but I have heard some people feel like it's a little too large.
I I like my controller being weighty. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I don't mean like weight. I mean just like it's big, so your hands can't reach the buttons as easy.
I mean, I dude, I have big hands, so I mean,
Yeah, since like my little
Yeah.
brother, he says he still prefers like the PS4 controller on his PC, even though he could use my PS5 controllers just because he just thinks it's comfier, the smaller form factor.
yeah. I mean, to me, it's just like I
Yeah.
feel like I feel like that's really
That he might.
subjective.
Yeah.
It's really subjective because it also depends on like hands. But what were you saying, Jay? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
So once he grows up a bit, he might like the PlayStation 5 controller a little more.
I mean, he's only 2 years younger than me, so
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
Bruh.
I think
Just
I
small
think
hands.
my favorite controller just to generally like hold would probably be my Switch Pro controller.
I'd agree with
Um,
that.
yeah, because like Guy, I have pretty big hands, and I feel like the Switch Pro controller is pretty well designed for at least someone who has big hands like me.
Yeah, that thing is just like really well designed in general. Because like I'm looking at the picture we have for our recording, like with the Pro controller in the top left, and it's like I'm
Yeah.
looking at the where like you rest your hands. I'm like, yeah, that really fits like most hand styles. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, because I've got right now I have a bunch of different controllers in front of me, and I'm like holding each one, and I think um they're all pretty good because they're all basically the same. But I think the Switch Pro controller is probably the best to hold.
That's fair. That's fair.
Good.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that.
Yeah, yeah. It's a really good one. I really like the Switch Pro controller.
Yeah, I just wish they would fix like D-pad and like have some analog triggers. Either that or what I've
Yeah.
seen some controllers have recently is like options for like trigger stops and all that. Because sometimes, like I know, for people that play Melee with a GameCube controller, they'll put these like plastic pieces inside the controller so they can get that immediate push instead of an analog input, just so they can have it quicker. So I think the best of both worlds on that, because you want to be able to like instantly hit it for some games, but other games you want to go down for like I don't know shooter games. You want to imitate a gun or something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, controller. Oh god, I don't. This is personally just me. I obviously this very much like differs among people. Like I have a friend back at home who like depending on like he likes a game whether or not like it just feels good based off the controller. Um, this really doesn't like matter as much to me, but like it really does like kind of matter like how the controller just feels, like whether it's just like the gripping, where the button layout is, like how responsive it is, etc.
Yeah. Well, also for games you're going to be playing maybe hours or hours on end. Like
Exactly.
maybe not like League of Legend hours, but normal people hours.
Oh, God.
Oh god,
The
not.
example.
Make sure
Redditor
your
hours.
hands or wrists don't cramp up by the end of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, please, don't send me to hell. Ah, get sent to League of Legends lobby.
A League of Legends Discord server.
All right, guy, I'm sorry, but to punish you, I've signed you up to League of Legends on your email.
Oh god. See, look, if I believe, in heaven or hell. I'm not trying to make this a religious thing. I genuinely am trying to make a joke out of this. But how I think hell works is that like it's personalized to you, because not everyone like has the same, like they differ with like what they will suffer with. My personal hell would be playing League of Legends all day.
I, I was gonna say I was gonna be playing Xenoblade 2 all day.
That too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That
Nah,
too.
League is way worse.
League is pretty bad.
I think one controller that's worth talking about would be like VR controllers.
Oh yeah, like my Oculus.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. We should talk about that.
Yeah.
VR. I
Yeah,
actually
like
kind
Yeah,
of
no,
like those.
because you
They're
gotta
not bad.
work with limitations on there. You don't want as many buttons to make it feel immersive, but you still want to imitate the game.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, Jay, you have some experience with like RE4, and I know Brewer, you have VR too. So like y'all tell us some of the experience with it.
Yeah. Well, I'd say one thing
Like,
is there's these little triggers on the sides, like for gun games, that does a really good job in imitating them, or like Super Hot. If you grab a knife or something,
yeah.
yeah, Super Hot's a really good VR game. But if you like squeeze like with your middle and index finger, I think, you hold the knife like that, and then for the gun you use your trigger finger to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
So that makes it feel pretty immersive. Because VR, that's what you're trying to simulate, just motion of an actual human. Or like in Beat Saber, you're not even using any like buttons, unless if it's maybe the
You're just,
menu. All you're
you're
doing
just
is
holding the controller, swing your arms.
swinging your arms and probably looking like an idiot in real life, but in the game, you feel like Darth Vader.
You do.
That's
But
sick.
I think they're really good controllers. They're really comfortable to hold. They're kind of like the Wii controller. You have a strap, you strap it on around your wrist, and
Yeah.
so they don't
And,
fly off.
yeah, and they do still have some limitations because like VR still is relatively new tech. Like
Yeah.
for moving, obviously you can only walk so far in a VR headset before you hit a wall. So you still move around with the joystick, which does have a weird disconnect when you're playing the game when like your body feels like it's moving, but you ain't moving your legs. So like a little bit of motion sickness.
No,
I
that's
mean, you
fair.
But
can still get stuff in real life, still an option. You don't have to use the joystick to turn. Like
eh,
in,
Yeah.
I know, but it's still like for VR chat maybe if you want to move a long distance.
I don't
There's
mean
no
like
save.
moving as in like just going to a different location, like stand in place and just turn your body left or right, just to like move your avatar or whatever to look in a different
I think
direction.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I think a control because I just when you guys were talking about like the leg movement, it reminded me of the Ring Fit controller and
Oh
set
yeah.
up like that.
Oh yeah, the game that totally will get you fit by doing the game. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen gameplay of that compared to like Wii Fit maybe, and its yoga poses. I think that could actually give you a decent workout. Not like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not going to give
Beat
you
Saber's
buff
a workout.
muscles or anything because it focuses more on like repetition and cardio than just like yeah lifting weights. I'm gonna bench 500 pounds. No, it's more of jog in place, squeeze this to focus your muscles, do some squats, which again, I think for a basic cardio workout, which would help a lot of gamers out if I'm gonna be honest.
Ugh.
Not throwing
Yeah.
shade or anything,
You say
but
that, and that's kind of throwing shade. Not gonna lie.
I guess it is throwing shade. Because some of y'all need to get off the couch and touch some grass.
I hope you're not referring to any of us.
Brewer,
Not
Brewer,
in
why are
this
you
chat.
talking about yourself?
Call of Duty players.
Some of us have full-time jobs, Connor, where we move around all day.
Yeah, some of us are college students in the mountains who have to walk everywhere. Yeah.
Some of us use our legs, unlike League of Legends players.
I'm a cripple right now. I can't use my leg.
Alright. Yeah, yeah, you're just making fun of a cripple right now.
No,
Yeah,
Jay,
man,
Jay,
let's go.
Jay gets the cripple pass.
Jay's safer right
I
now.
guess they yes.
Jay, you're safer right now. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Jay
Right
would
now.
still touch more grass than some other people.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like back to Ring Fit Adventure, like I think it's a really like good attempt to like just get people more active and whatnot. Because like, I mean, like you said, bro, it's not going to do everything with weights because like that would cost a lot of money. Like that'd be a $300 game if it had weights and everything at least. But it's like it's good to like get some cardio in, and not just that, but it's like an RPG too. So like you feel like you're making progress not only with like your body, but also like within the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like on the higher difficulties, it can actually get you tired. From what I've seen, it's like some fitness channels. Like I think Jack's Blade, he's tried it out. You can actually work up a decent sweat from it.
I will actually
Yeah.
give me some time. Maybe over the summer.
Yeah,
If I get enough money to buy Ring Fit Adventure, I will record an entire playthrough of it and me doing it as well.
I'd be down for that. We could do a speed race to see
Yeah.
like who would beat it first.
That would be amazing.
I remember just watching this channel called The Underdogs. And they did a bunch of videos on Ring Fit, and they built up a pretty big sweat. So I think
yeah.
with like doing that, I think just like as a general workout, I think it's like like as a beginning workout, I think it's pretty good. But if you're wanting to like bulk up or do some serious stuff like that, I don't think it's that
Just
good.
grab some dumbbells and start lifting. Really,
Just to
It's
that's
like a
just to maybe motivate you, because it's not supposed to be like a
yeah,
replacement for like actually going to the gym. It's
yeah.
more so it's supposed to be like something to incentivize you to actually move your body,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
which I can always give
It
props to that.
it kind of reminds me of those streamers who, when they're doing video games, they'll have like a treadmill or something in their room, so that way they're at least moving their body.
Yeah. Or I know Just Dance was really popular when it came out like in the Wii era, because along with like the
Yeah,
brand new motion controls of the Wii, you're moving your body around. You could say you're exercising, having fun at the same time.
yeah.
Like also getting groovy.
Getting groovy with
Wait,
it.
just dance. I was never athletic enough to do that. I probably could now if I tried, but when I was a kid, I couldn't.
Duh. You saying groovy reminded me of a scene in Berserk.
Oh my god, you're gonna
Oh
talk
my
about
god.
Okay, shut up.
No, we don't have a Berserk episode. This is the controller episode.
I know.
we're shutting you down because also
Yo,
I don't want to be
wait.
spoiled.
What's a theme in Berserk? Control. You know what we're talking about? Control.
Okay, there's four of us in here. Democratic vote. Who's against guys shutting the hell up? If you say I,
Uh,
say it in 3, 2, 1. I.
I
Dang it.
Yep, there we
I'm
go.
kidding.
3 to 1. Shut your bitch ass up.
Quiet.
The council has spoken, and the council thinks you're annoying.
You're now forbidden from talking about Berserk or Persona 5.
Oh my
Be
God.
quiet.
Like that's just gonna be a
Execute
running
order.
thing. That's just gonna be a running joke. That's just gonna be a running joke at this point.
Execute
We've got-
order 66.
Shut
we've
the
got
fuck
so
up.
many running
Kill
we've got so
all.
many running jokes in our group that it's never going to be able to be explained.
Kill all Berserk fans.
Execute order 66.
Oh my God. But yeah, that's like. I mean, it's a cool controller though. Like with Ring Fit. At least I think so.
I think it's definitely the most unique of the Switch controllers.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Like of the official ones at least.
Yeah. Well, I think for like fitness controllers, because there's a lot of different types of fitness, I think it's probably one of the best approaches I've seen so far because the Wii Fit, which was just like this board you stand it on, it had you doing like yoga poses and stuff, which I mean that could be all right. It gets you a character in Smash and all that,
It
but
gets for the wine moms.
yeah, but I think the actual controller, like forcing you to push it together, telling you to squat, sensing that, I think that's a pretty good concept.
It really is. At least I think it is. Um, God, are there? Oh, let's talk about third-party controllers.
The Mad Cats.
The Mad Cats. Oh my God.
I don't think I have any like third party controllers.
Well, what about the controllers you had growing up when you didn't have your own source of income and your parents were buying? So when they saw the controllers, the $20 option looked better than the 60.
I will
I mean,
say
I didn't really.
you first.
I don't think I had any third parties even then. Like I think the most I could say was the Wii Zapper, I think, but that was not a third party. Um, yeah, I don't think I've had any third party controllers growing up.
I will say I
Riveted.
actually have a third-party controller that I'm using. I not like obviously not at this moment, but I use for my pro controller. It's like a
GameCube?
no, it's a mini. No. The GameCube I have is the official Nintendo USB.
Well, no, that one's it's branded by Nintendo, but it's officially made by PowerA. Nintendo never made
Well,
an official like USB controller,
Oh
So
shit!
which
it's
I really
people
wish
kind
they
of
would.
consider a
It
third
would be
party
nice.
controller.
well, no, I do have a third party controller. I don't know what brand it is, but it doesn't have like the Nintendo seal on it at all. So that's how I know
Testing,
it's
testing.
definitely.
Can you hear me?
You,
Can you hear me?
we
Yeah.
hear you.
Okay, I accidentally unplugged the cord for the mic. But as I was saying, I'm actually using obviously not at this moment, but I'm using a it's like a mini PowerA controller. Um, that it's really small like compared to like normal pro controllers, but I just like it because like I'm able to access the buttons faster, and it's just like I use it
What
for
does
like
it look like?
so what?
What does it look like?
It looks like a normal pro controller, just small.
Oh, okay.
But you've seen it before, Brewer.
Oh, yeah, I think I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like I use that for like Metroid Prime, Animal Crossing if I'm playing down the dock, Scarlet and Violet,
Yeah.
etc. Yeah.
Now, modern third-party controllers aren't too bad. I mean, I still think going with the main party ones is probably always your best option. But if you're trying, like, if you want a couple other controllers for like friends with Mario Party, Mario Kart,
Oh yeah, for
I,
sure,
I
for
don't
sure.
think having some of those third-party controllers hurts
Yeah.
too much. Now, on the
Um.
on the other hand, if we were playing like Brawl, you had a nice Wavebird or GameCube controller, and you dare hand me a wrangled up Mad Catz controller, hands are going to be thrown along with that controller on the ground.
Yeah, that's just doing someone dirty at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. I actually do have a third party controller.
He
I don't know
finally
what
found
brand it
one.
is. Well, it's like I looked at it and I was like, because it looks just like a regular Switch Pro controller, it just doesn't have the Nintendo logo anywhere on it.
Could you send us a pic?
Yeah, send us a pic.
Yeah,
Let us
yeah.
see.
Hold on.
Do you?
I remember I looked up like Switch Pro controller and just clicked on the cheapest option. I think.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's like a ton of them made by PowerA. They have the exact same layout, but they have like some Nintendo characters printed on, which is something I really wish they would do more of with
I
actual
think that is
controllers.
I think that is a third party.
Oh, that's definitely
Well, it
third
doesn't have
party.
the yeah, it doesn't have the Nintendo like
Well, along with that,
uh
regular controllers like that don't have the weird engravings.
Yeah.
yeah.
Power A is just really good, like as a third party controller manufacturer, in
Eh,
my opinion.
Yeah.
I'd say they're all right.
Well, I mean,
I've,
like,
I've, u-
I haven't had any
I've,
problems with them. Like, yeah.
I hear a lot of them do get drift pretty easily, and on third parties that can be harder to repair because you have no idea of the insides compared to some well documented like the Switch. But again, they're budget options. I get why people use them, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
sometimes they can be nice.
No, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Jay, do you have any third-party controllers?
Uh, I can think of one. I can't put like I can't put a name on it or the console I played it on. But when I was really young, I had this. I forget what it's called. I had this console that had this controller that came with it. It was almost like
Was
so
it
it's
like
almost like a
Xbox?
Switch, okay. Then it had buttons and just a little. It had a stick, okay. The controller just kind of flat, had buttons on it, had a stick. I played like racing games on it and some other stuff with it.
Was it like a
I
plug and
think
play console?
yeah, it was. I think that's what it was.
Okay.
I don't know if that's considered third party, but just one of those controllers in general was really.
I mean, if
I
we're talking
remember
about
playing
just
it.
control in general too, I mean, like, I know the DS and Game Boys, they don't have like separate controllers, but the controls you have on there are very important for, ones that are hardwired to the console or the handheld.
I think it's one of those plug and play, like you
Yeah.
said.
I mean, there's some
It's
pretty
been
unique
years.
plug and plays out there because I have a
Oh
Mrs.
yeah,
Pac-Man one that for Rally X, instead of turning the joystick like you would in the arcade, or just moving the joystick left and right, you could physically turn it to imitate or like a racing wheel or race car.
yeah, yeah.
Which
I know
for
what you're
a
saying.
plug and play you would get in Walmart for like $20. I think that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's very good. But
But
besides
yeah,
that, then I don't really have any other third party controllers.
Gotcha, gotcha.
yeah. I mean, besides that, I mean, I think we covered a lot today because we
Yeah.
this is a pretty long chat.
Yeah, I think that is a good stopping point for controllers. Definitely something that I feel like goes underappreciated for a lot of gaming, and is something that obviously we rely on to play our video games with. But do we have any
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
closing? Do we have any closing thoughts on controllers?
I will say on that statement you just said, something we don't think about. I think that is a good thing because the best controllers are the ones that get you immersed in the game and you can't tell. You aren't having to look down each time to figure out where everything is. It just feels comfy to hold, not awkward. You don't have to reach over in weird ways for buttons. You can just
Yeah,
focus on the game. You don't even think about it. It says hit this to like swing your sword or something. You just hit that without looking down, and you're good to go.
For sure, for sure. Cough, cough. PS5 controller. Cough, cough. Yeah. No, no.
PlayStation.
That's a really good point though.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
yeah. What were you saying, Jay? I'm sorry.
I said PlayStation as a whole did really well since PlayStation 4 and kind of like immersing you
Oh yeah, for
with the
sure.
dual with the touchpad, how it had the sounds coming out of the controller itself.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did a really good
That's a
job.
really big feature with it too. That
I do
also
wish it
doesn't
Yeah.
used the touchpad a little more.
I mean, for some games it's required, like Ghost of Tsushima. Uh,
I mean, it's just very few games utilized it to its full potential.
I know, but it's getting there.
It was
But with that being said, I think that is going to wrap up our episode. So for our viewers at home or wherever you're at, preferably if you are driving, not looking at the screen, will you please throw your controllers if you are mad at that subscribe and like button, if in case you like our content, and leave a comment if you want to tell us about some feedback that we could use. But please, with that being said, that is going to be episode 4 of the Fetch Quest podcast. I've been your host with Logan Brewer, Connor Belk, and Jaden McLean. Thank you very much, and have a great rest of the day.
See you
see
guys.
you guys.
I'm gonna drift out just like my
Bye.
Joy-Con.